Hello everybody, it's Therese Mc Auliffe here from Lighting the Way on the very last day of October 2023. Hard to believe, All Souls tomorrow, so we have a very interesting evening ahead with Halloween festivities and then the veil being so thin, meeting with loved ones from the other side, hopefully, maybe even in dream state tonight. So tomorrow being All Souls, it's a magnificent day for us to do some healing with the ancestors. So, we have a window of a week or so here to really work with the ancestors where the veil is extremely thin. And this morning I did a meditation. I had a client at 10, so I was out here earlier and I was doing a meditation really about, the month of November and what was coming up and how I could bring through some guidance and what guidance was there to bring through. So, it's a big month, it's really at a point now for us where there's quite a lot actually of the very old patterns and the very old struggles within our own lives showing themselves to us. And I'm sure with this eclipse energy that more of you, especially sensitives, for me personally, I feel like I was run over by a bus at the weekend. I'm good today. The energies are settling. But so many dreams, so much coming back up, buried stuff that I didn't even realize was there. And this victim consciousness is surfacing again. I've seen it with clients. I've seen it within myself. And it's good that it's coming up because it's showing itself. There's like so much evil playing out on the planet, and I don't need to tell anybody what's going on, but it really is a reflection of these old energies, these really dense energies that need to leave the planet, and there's a real struggle to hang on and hold on tight and not let it go. So I did write down a few pointers, very little, and it really is, I suppose, about when we become self-responsible. It's really important that we can't blame anybody else for anything that's going on in our lives, anything that we feel deprived of or something that we feel that we're being wronged. It's all about personal responsibility and about being able to excel and to really grow spiritually. And November is a big month where we're supported by the energies, and cosmically we're being looked after to be able to take stock and make decisions about what we really want. So I wrote down 2 questions. What direction do you want to head? So that would be the first thing. So what would you really love to be doing that would seem too good to be true? And maybe you'd like to journal on this, or contemplate it in a way that's right for you. And the other one, what's truly over for you? Because, we all have cycles of completion and next place, we move on into something new, something greater once we have integrated lessons or whatever they may be, growth in some way from a particular period of our life that we have just been working through. And, collectively, we're all in this boat together, and there's a lot of movement in the energy, for want of a better way of saying it, and a lot of confusion. I'm working in this area for a long time, full-time, about 23 years, probably full-time. But even before that, I was dipping in and out, toes in the water. So I suppose it's to be able to fully step back during the month of November and just look at your own habits. I'm speaking for everybody here, myself as well, because this is a collective message, so to be able to step back from the picture and to be able to see what's in the picture, so what are your habits that have just been going and going and going and going and going? Some of those possibly have served you well and maybe still do, but it's those that are completed, those where you've taken the lessons, you've taken the learnings, and on you go. So this is really important because Presently, it feels that there's a lot of energy totally out of balance. So to bring that back into balance is our objective really for the month of November. And oh my goodness, there's just so much energy coming into the top of my head as I say that. So there's a download coming in. So old cycles moving out and personal responsibility, being really responsible for our boundaries. Yeah, boundaries is what I'm getting. Saying no where you want to say no. And rather than getting into the energy of resentment, you know, saying yes and doing, fixing, whatever it may be, being able to know your boundaries and to be able to pull back and make time for yourself and be patient. Yeah. You know, the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it's the same for this. There is a period of transition as the energies rise. There's turbulence, you know, it's like the ebb and flow of the water. Sometimes it's roaring and rough, and other times it's just smooth and calm, you know. So I do feel we're going through a bit of a roaring rough period, and then there will be a calm, you know. So I'm getting the figure 4, so the 4th of November seems to be significant, and the 10th, yeah, it seems to be a whole period actually, but the 4th, I'm not sure what the 4th is. I'm just going to go with my gut and say the 4th of November seems to be significant. Just see that I write anything else down. Oh yeah, I wrote down we're just waking up to our light body, and that we're not responsible for other people's energy. We are only responsible for our own. And we have been in a habit for eons, really, of, especially light workers or sensitive people, we've always had the feeling that it's our job to help others, and almost feeling responsible for, you know, them raising their vibration as well. So it's up to us to raise ours, because that will raise the collective. So it's really important to be self-responsible and to really have boundaries around our time, around our energy, around how we look after ourselves. So our self-care is really important. And even for myself, I have stepped back and asked, how can I best serve, you know, myself and others? I work obviously as a life coach and an energy healer and a trainer. So I am changing things around a bit from the end of this year. I'm planning already and creating workshops on deep self-care, you know, me time. It's really important that we have the time where we can assess ourselves, step back from ourselves, you know, and really make a plan that encompasses all areas of our lives, you know, our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, our physical health, and to combine it all in a whole unit. So we're looking after our whole self, so deep self-care. So I'm going to be running a workshop at least once a month, maybe once a month in person, once a month online, once January comes. And I'm looking forward to that, because it really feels like I feel like I need to work on the ground with people at the moment. I just feel there's a lot of turbulence, and the divine feminine energies come through me quite easily. And I just feel now it's my time to hold and, you know, the nurture of the mother. And yeah, this is a big lesson for November. It's a big piece of guidance that we do need to start being really self-responsible. Yeah, and they're saying it again, patience, you know. Appreciate that it's like a process, really, you know, and give ourselves time and pull back from that's not serving us well, or those that are not serving us well. I feel Angel Gabriel around me. I just feel that there's quite a lot of emotional turbulence, you know. There's quite a lot of aggressive activities, and I hope you're not listening to the news, because, you know, that's just a narrative. It has become just a narrative, you know, the last number of years. You just need to do your own connecting in, or, you know, doing proper research. You can get information, but my job is to hold the light and to bring the light to many. So I don't allow myself to get pulled in too easily, and when I do get pulled in, it's like a swamp. I find it tough, because I'm desperately sensitive, and yeah, I have to educate myself, and I do it on the days when I know that I can. And there are days when I can and days when I can't. And yesterday was certainly one of the days when I couldn't. So I went to the beach and got saturated, actually. Poured rain on top of me, but that was all right. It was a cleanse. So, and it's just to know yourself, you know, and know when you have days when you are like fragile, energetically fragile, and other days when you're bulletproof and energetically really strong. And just work with your capacity, because we are so powerful, you know, so powerful. And we're beginning to understand that. And now it's time to tap into it and to use those resources, because the world's our oyster. You know, some people may say, my goodness, how would you possibly say that in these times? But we've got to come back to the fact that, you know, we are divinity housed in a body. So the mind has led man astray. And, you know, looking at little snippets of this, that, and the other, it's hard to even comprehend how far astray man has managed to get, you know. So I'm going to ask the angels for some direction to hold us in the light, because we are genuinely starting to progress into a more lighter form of being. And all that crap and all that heaviness and all that density and corruption and untruths is all coming up. You know, it's coming up to be cleaned and healed. And it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. So first I'm going to see what archangel is our main angel that's going to be there for us to call on for the month of November. Ooh. My dad's on the other side. I feel him here with me now. There was a time when he didn't actually believe in intuition and sensitivity, but he did for quite a number of years before he passed the veil. So welcome him into my life now. We've two. Angel Raphael, of course, the supreme angel of healing. And it says, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So Raphael is the angel of the emerald green ray, and Raphael is he who heals. That's how it translates. And he's a supreme healer. So whether it's emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and to ask Raphael also to go to those areas where they are war torn at the moment, and to bring his healing light and emanate his beautiful emerald green ray of light on those areas and all the people that reside there. So that's Raphael. And the other one, oh, I felt Gabriel around me. The other one is Gabriel. And Gabriel says, it's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So I'm sure there's quite a lot of you that would be listening to videos like this, light workers and sensitives, and a light worker maybe without even having a label of being a light worker, you know, leading in a family, leading in a community, leading in your workplace, and standing in your truth, you know. Lead by example, you know. So Gabriel is the angel that is here for that. So it's Gabriel and Raphael. And the feeling that I was getting about Gabriel before I did draw that card at all was that Gabriel is also here to help us soothe emotionally. I just really feel a massive amount of, I'll use the word disturbance, emotional disturbance within individuals. And it's a disturbance that is kind of not understood at the moment. But by the end of November, if you step back from yourself and start being personally responsible day by day, and just writing out, what do you really want? And maybe on the other side of that page, what do you not want? And to start actually articulating a path that's suitable to you. Sorry, I have a heater on here. I just have to turn it off because the angels are in, and it's getting warmer and warmer. So I have this box of surrender cards, the power to surrender. So I drew one before the healing. So it's the first one here is surrender to passion. Okay, so get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So I drew that card really, not kind of as a collective card, but I drew it to see how I would be directed to do this reading. So it really is about us, you know, stepping back into our passion. And what is it we're passionate about? So what do you really want? So getting back to the same question. Now I'm going to take one here for all of us together and just see what comes through. So one for the month of November, so a generic one. So of course, if you want full guidance just for you individually, I do a full hour for a reading, which I attach, you know, a connection between our hearts. So some healing goes through all the time for the full hour. And I do that, you know, on Zoom or on Facebook or here in my beautiful log cabin. So remote or in person, I'm available. So let's just see for the month of November now. Okay, I probably should have put on my glasses. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. Okay, so this is very much tied in again to the reading. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Now, there's the lesson, okay? So that came up already for us there. So it was basically about, you know, not feeling that you had to say yes to everybody, and having resentment then if you're saying yes and you actually meant no. So it's just saying focus on your own happiness, because, you know, your happiness will emanate out, and it's the right way to actually influence others is to walk your talk and lead the way. And so leading the way by focusing on your own happiness is basically the message that's coming for us. So I feel I'm going to take I'll take a soul coaching card. I took out a number of decks. This feels relevant today. Just one of these now, please. Let's see what comes out. I like these cards because they're very little written on them, and it's easier then to intuitively pull in and see what's going on. I never read the books. Okay, power. I am a radiant, glorious, powerful being. So there you are. It's connecting back with your power. And when you do actually realize, you know, that you are divinity, that is your power, really, you know. So your love is your power. So oh my God, they're coming through. Excuse me. Sometimes when there's a big glut of energy, it just comes straight through my throat. So remembering that your love is your power, and to step into that power, to step back into your authentic self. So it's quite a strong message actually for November, that the old cycles are going and it's reclaiming your power again, you know. And when you actually start being authentically you, being the truth of who you actually are, and that is a magnificent spiritual being housed in this body, then you will understand your power and you will be able to radiate your light. We are awakening to the light within. We are awakening to the light within. I need a card for the children. I forgot to take that deck out. Okay, so here we go. Diana Cooper deck, that'll be fine. I have a couple of decks in there for the kids. So one card for the children, please, for the month of November. So again, if you have a child of your own, grandchild, neighbour's child, or children in general, here's the cards for November. Comfort. And when you look at what's going on in the world, whew, when you feel sad, tell your angel about it. Say to yourself, my angel always understands me. So these are angel cards. So it's back into being comforted by the angels. Now to close off this reading, I'm going to take a healing oracle card and just see what the overall message is for us. There's something else being said to me now. Yeah, it's really a big month of downloads is what I'm getting, because I'm getting another download into my head, and that's to remind me, to remind you that this is a month to really slow down, okay, to really evaluate where you're at, to take note of your dreams, whether they're by day or whether they're by night, so that anything new that's coming up, and to notice your cycles as well, to be able to stand back. So it's a huge month. It's a month for massive downloads. So of course, the ancestral healing, I talked about that, and especially tonight, tomorrow, and the next week, being able to call on your ancestors and perhaps connect with them, and get some guidance from them and offer some healing, So it's a great time for healing those ancestral wounds of the past. So I'm asking for one card here now, one overall healing message for us. This is generic again. So pop into the website there if you want to have a look at what I do. I'd love to do a reading for you, a full one. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what this is. Okay, so it's manifestation of light. Okay, so the light is, I'm telling you, we're just starting to become aware of our light. So it's a golden, vibrant, bright light. I see the beauty in me. I grow and develop my inner self in harmony with light and beauty. I free myself from negativity. My heart transforms, my intellect shines, and my inner light grows and glows. Look at that. Isn't it just a beautiful card? And I get a very, very, very strong sense that there are many, many, many more people going to awaken during the month of November. And it is about our light. It's actually about awakening to our light body. We were light bodies once upon a time. So the awakening has long started, obviously. And some of us are awakening like for many years, and especially over the last 3 or 4 years, we've got a massive opportunity to awaken at an accelerated speed. But because of that now, that morphic resonance, there are many others having an opportunity to wake up also. So we're all needed at the different stages, because if we all woke up together, I think we would probably just blow ourselves out of the planet. So it's really important that we respect everybody for where they're at. That doesn't mean we tolerate any nonsense. It's actually the total opposite. There is no tolerance for any nonsense when you're really in your truth. But that there's compassion, that there's respect, and that there's a standing in your own truth and being so self-responsible that you are not responsible for anybody else, regardless. So have a beautiful month. And if you feel like some healing, so I do distant healing as well, and obviously here in this beautiful log cabin. So if you feel like some healing, or you'd feel like some guidance, a reading or coaching session or more, www.lightingtheway.ie. And I would really love to work with you, to help you to grow and to accelerate and to move more into your power. God bless you. And I hope that this has helped you in some way. And share it. Thank you.